we're finally doing it. We're gonna give you guys a full rig tour of our Nash 17K made by Northwood Manufacturing. All right, so we're gonna start at the front of the rig here. Got two 30-pound propane tanks, which is great because they run forever, especially considering how well insulated this rig is. We added a storage box. This rack came with this rig. We bought it used, and Melissa added a handy-dandy dog poop holder up front here.
It's a necessity.
Front is very simple. This is our underbelly on the driver's side of the rig. This is how we kind of keep it organized. We have some hoses here. We went ahead and added our 3 Lion Energy lithium batteries. Also have our Lion Energy portable solar panels here that we use for our Safari LT, our charging bank, which we'll show you guys later. And then we also added a 750 watt inverter so we can run electronics on the inside connected directly to the batteries. The thing we really like about this Nash is that it has a dedicated generator bay. So we keep our generator in here, a small gas can, and a cable lock so we can lock it up. So you technically can run your generator in this bay if you want to. We normally take it out and put it away from the camper. And then obviously you have your power cord right here, so everything's really easy and it keeps it all in one spot. This is our very disorganized front underbelly. We keep our chairs in here, our mat. To be honest, there's a lot more room than we actually need. You know, with the truck and the Jeep, we find ourselves having some extra space in here, which is nice.
One of my favorite additions we've done to our rig are these solid steps by Lipper Components. We are so excited. I've been wanting these forever. Since we ever started RVing 2.5 years ago. I always hated the factory steps that bounce so much every time you step in and out of the rig. And now we've got these solid steps. They're super great. I can even do lunges on them, you know, working out.
Goof.
And they're a lot better for our dogs too, a lot more stable.
All right, so now we're in the bedroom here, and this is probably one of the biggest cons of this rig is the fact that we have an east to west bed, meaning one of us has to climb over the other, and it faces sideways in the rig. It doesn't face front to back or north to south. We knew this was gonna probably be a potential issue when we bought this rig, but if you guys remember, when we were looking, we had a few major things that we wanted to hit, and we hit most of them except for this bed.
Probably one of the biggest things about this bed is there's the overhead cabinet here, so it's just a little bit more claustrophobic for the person on the inside, and then that person also has to climb over the person sleeping on the outside, and then they have to be trampled over in the middle of the night.
Yeah, so that's just something to think about when you're buying a rig. If it were weekenders, I don't think it'd be that big of a deal, but when you do it every day and this is your life 24/7, it's not great.
This TV actually wasn't originally mounted there. We added that just because we will only watch TV in bed. So it's just, you know, an added thing for you to hit your head on, but it's really nice to have to watch TV.
Oh my gosh.
Some of the things that we've added in this rig to maximize storage space are definitely storage cubbies like this. There's a certain size that'll fit in these little cubbies, and it's just really great to help organize things and keep things contained. When your house moves every week and you're going through an earthquake, things tend to fall out of places. So having any sort of storage containers to help keep your stuff in one area is always a plus. And we actually also added this nightstand shelf situation because there was only one nightstand for the bed, so we just wanted an extra one, and this is just like a nice landing spot for all of our stuff when we first come in. This was not factory. We actually added it with these handy shelves, and this is where the business happens.
Ew, gross.
So this is our bathroom. It's actually quite large for the overall size of the rig. A lot of counter space. There's some decent storage space underneath the cabinet as well. And then a pretty big shower also. A lot of tiny rigs will have a shower much smaller than this, but this is a pretty good size, I have to say. We went ahead and added these little command strip shelves just to give us some extra storage, and that's really helped a lot just to have things more accessible. You know, we have our beautiful storage shelf for our toilet paper up there as well. So another thing that we did, we added our broom and our Swiffer holders in the corner over here just to kind of organize things and keep them out of the way and keep them from falling down on drive days. We've got these little handy dandy command hook brackets whatever you want to call them. And those have been super great.
All right, so now we're in the kitchen slash hallway. This is another minor inconvenience about this trailer. It's narrow here. If the kitchen were on a slide or if the bathroom were on a slide, you'd have much more walking space, which would be nice. But we also wanted to try a rig with no slide, so kind of makes sense. You got your standard stove. We use this for storage. Sometimes we use the oven to make bread and whatnot, microwave, all your standard stuff. I would say that the kitchen has adequate storage. We got a lot of room up here. You know, obviously stuff falls over when you're driving because, you know, your house moves every day. The sink is great. It's good size. We have a drying rack on this side. We wash on this side. It's great. We have a knife block. We didn't have this in our old rig. And not gonna lie, we found it in our house in deep storage. And we decided to command strip it to the counter. And it's been awesome. It's nice having your knives here. They're self-sharpening. Every time you put them in, they sharpen. So that's great. This is kind of like our one thing that we move when we on travel days is this basket. It's just a basket, you know, a little junk drawer collection basket, and we just move it down here. So that's pretty easy. Overall, pretty happy with the kitchen. I mean, we got 3 big drawers, have all of our stuff that doesn't really fit. But overall, that's great. A big under kitchen storage. All of our pots and pans. And then when you come this way, this is kind of like the lower section is our Tupperware, and the upper section is like our vitamins, our pre-workout, kind of like our medicine cabinet in a sense.
On this side of the rig, we have our gas and electric Norcold fridge. It's actually a pretty good size. Also not super well organized, but you know, we do what we can. Pretty good size for this rig. So got a fridge.
Oh
no, oh no, oh no.
We traveled yesterday, so some of our frozen meats are falling out.
A pretty big freezer as well. And then down below that, we actually have this extra drawer that we use pretty much for all of our pantry items. And again, with the storage bins for keeping things somewhat organized as we travel. It's super helpful to just have that down there right underneath. And, you know, a dog water Tupperware as well. And then right next to that, you know, because everybody's closet is in their kitchen, right? This is our closet space that we share. You know, Jesse generously gave me most of the hanger space, and he's got some clothes hanging up there too. And then we both have baskets with various other stuff underneath, and that's where we keep the majority of our clothes. And then back here behind my side of the dinette is kind of a strange storage cubby area. It's relatively deep, so I mean, you can see how far I'm reaching down into there. And we keep our backpacks and some random papers and notebooks, dog food, dog bowls, our Undersun fitness bands, our tripod. You know, these are our backpacks with our work equipment. So this is kind of like a catch-all for bigger items like that we use regularly. It's kind of nice to have that because there aren't a lot of places inside this rig to just kind of stash things that are larger like that you want to access every day.
So this is where we typically work. I'll sit on this side, Melissa will sit on that side. This is also where we eat. We do eat outside a lot. And this is one of the really nice things about this rig. It's our giant window with our neighbors in our parking lot. It's great. And of course, we have a giant lab named Blue. He's still alive. He's still kicking. This is where he typically lays, which is nice because then he's out of the way. But it's hard when we're both sitting here trying to work and he's laying in there and our feet are on top of him and this and that. But it's been okay-ish. This rig does have a lot of storage in the back here. Both of these benches have full storage underneath. But I'd have to say that it's kind of difficult to access. So we try to keep stuff under here that we don't use that often. It's hard to get the cushions out. And then they have these big panels that open up and you have access to all your stuff underneath. There really is a lot of room under there, which is nice. But we always dread when we have to go in there to get stuff out of there because it's like such a process.
Speaking of which, while we're in there, can you get a box of tissues?
Oh man.
We need some for the bathroom. If you guys are looking for organization tips for a small space, this is probably one of my favorite for shoes. I keep mine all in a plastic bin, you know, just a standard, whatever. And I store them all vertically. And I learned this tip from another RVer and had to steal it because I absolutely loved it. So she uses headbands or hair ties or rubber bands to tie all of her shoes together. Just wrap them together like this. And then it's really easy to just grab whichever pair you want, and you don't have to shuffle through all of the other shoes and to find a matching pair.
Overall, we really like this rig. It's small, it's easy to tow, simple. There's no slides. We can get in and out of spots very easily. It does have large water tanks and gray tanks, which is great.
Super well insulated. Did you already say that?
I did say that earlier, but not right now. So overall, we feel like Northwood and Nash, they made a great trailer. I think if we weren't full-time, we would really love it. But being full-time, there's a few things, and I think that down the road, we probably will be upgrading to maybe slightly larger, but mostly a slightly different layout, and I think that maybe one slide will be necessary for more walking space in the floor.
Yeah. It would just be nice to have a little bit more room to kind of spread out and like move around the rig a little bit faster, since there are 4 of us in here right now, and our big old Blue kind of has a tendency to get in the way as much as he possibly can.
So we just wanted to make this video to kind of show you guys like a little inside peek of like how our daily life is. Obviously we have outside as well, which we use a lot. We have tables, we have a mat that we put out, we have obviously our awning. But you know, some days when we're just working, or if we're like right now we're in a Cabela's parking lot, like we're not gonna go work outside, like we're just gonna work inside. So this is kind of what we have. This is our layout, and we hope you found it interesting. If you have any questions about the rig, about the capacities, I mean, just let us know and we'll do our best to fill you guys in with that information.
Yeah, and if you have any tips for us for how to survive tiny living, please let us know.
We need them. Let us know.
We're doing our best here, guys.